I never wanted trouble. All I wanted was a safe place where my son, Elijah, could be happy. A place where he wouldn't be judged for needing a wheelchair. A place where he wouldn't feel like a burden. Hence WHOI we moved to Willow Crest, a gated suburban community just outside the city. It was supposed to be perfect squared streets, well-kept lawns, and a socialite, family-friendly atmosphere. The kind of place where kids ride bikes, neighbors smile, and everything looks like a postcard. At least, that's what they sell you. In reality, Willow Crest is a nest of thinly veiled prejudice wrapped in a bower of Haman's association rules. A place where the wrong skin color, the wrong income bracket, or the wrong kind of different earns you ideas and whispered conversations. I felt it from day one. The way some of the neighbors watched me as single black matter like I had somehow wandered into the wrong neighborhood. The way their smiles were tight and forced, dripping with barely concealed judgment. But I ignored it. I had to. For Elijah. He was 10 years old, sharp as a whip, with eyes that could brighten the darkest day. Born with cerebral palsy, he had never walked a day in his life, but that didn't stop him from being the most determined kid I knew. Every morning, he rolled himself down the driveway, ready to explore the world with the same enthusiasm as any other child. That's when I first noticed her. Meredith Hawthorne. Or as the neighborhood kids whispered behind her back, bleached blondie bob. Ironed khaki shorts. That permanent scowl, as if the mere existence of other people annoyed her. She was the self-appointed queen of the HOA, wielding the community guidelines like a weapon. She was the type to measure grass height with a ruler, fine people for leaving trash bins out 5 minutes too long, and report as suspicious individuals who just so happened to be non-hitty. And she hated Eliach's wheelchair. At first, it was subtle. A tight-lipped grimace whenever she saw us. The way she deliberately turned through when Elijah said, "Good morning." The way she stared at his wheelchair as if it were a personal offense to her carefully curated word. Then came the comments. "You do know the HOA has strict policies about modifications to public pathways, right?" she said one morning, eyeing the small ramp we had installed over the curb so Elijah could easily roll onto the sidewalk. I had smiled, keeping my voice even. That's a на чем plant ramp. Perfectly legal. Her lips pressed into a thin line. Well, rules are rules. Then, one day, Elijah came home upset. She told me I don't belong here, he muttered, blinking fast to keep tears from spilling. I stiffened. Who? The lady with the clipboard. She said Wilker's clutter the neighborhood. I clenched my fists. That was the moment I knew Meredith Hawthorne was about to become my problem. It started small. Little things. Things that made me question whether I was imagining it. One morning, I found a warning notice taped to our front door. Violation, unauthorized ramp installation. Fine, $250. I laughed bitterly. The ramp was legal. It wasn't even on HOA property, it was cheat approved. But I knew exactly who was behind this. I took the notice straight to the HOA office. The receptionist told me at MYA as she muttered, "You have to talk to them." Of course. I found Meredith in her pristine office, sipping iced tea like she had all the time in the world. I slapped the notice onto her desk. Care to explain this? She barely looked up. You altered a community pathway. That's against HOA regulations. I folded my arms. It's not HOA property. The city approved it. She sighed, tapping her manicured nails against her clipboard. The HOA maintains aesthetics, Ms. Carter. And frankly, that ramp is an eyesore. I stared at her, heat rising in my chest. An eyesore. It's a mobility aid. My son needs it. Her lips curled into a sickly sweet smile. I understand, but you have to think about everyone. Families move here for a certain quality of life. Cluttered sidewalks. That's not part of it. Cluttered sidewalks. I was this close to losing my composure, but I forced myself to stay calm. I won't be paying this fine. Meredith's smile never wavered. Then expect further action. I left her office with my jaw clenched so tight it hurt. After that, it escalated. HOA letters demanding we remove Eliach's wheelchair ramp or face legal action. Random complaints from anonymous neighbors about our excessive presence in shared spaces, meaning Elijah and I simply existed. 10. The potty sharesman began. Trash bins mysteriously knocked over. The lawn service accidentally skipping our yard. Our mail being misplaced. And the stairs. Neighbors I once exchanged pleasantries with now watched me from their porches, hesitant, like they didn't want to be caught associating with the problem family. Elijah noticed it, too. Why do people look at us like that? He asked one afternoon as we headed to the park. I ruffled HOA's carols. Because some people don't like different, baby. He frowned. But I'm not different. I'm just me. I smiled, but my chest felt tight. I know, sweetheart. That's when I saw Meredith across the street, clipboard in hand, speaking with two HOA board members. Her eyes flicked to us, and her lips curled in a knowing smirk. The anise in my good solidified into certainty. She wasn't just enforcing rules. She wanted us gone. I knew Meredith Hawthorne was trouble. But I didn't know just how far she was willing to go. After weeks of sharesman-friendly violation notices, HOA fines, even a fake complaint about noise disturbances from yelling Wilker, I decided it was time to fight back. I started documenting everything. Every notice. Every email. Every sideways look she gave us. I kept a folder of proof determined to build a case against her. But then she escalated. One afternoon, I got home from work to find Elijah sobbing on the front porch. My heart stopped. I dropped my back and rushed to him. What happened? He sniffled, wiping HOA's face. She took my Wilker. I froze. Who? The HOA lady, he whimpered. She said it was blocking the sidewalk, and she took it. My blood boiled. I stormed across the street to the HOA office, trying the door open so hard it slammed against the wall. Meredith sat behind her desk, completely unbattered, flipping through a paperwork like she hadn't just robbed my child of HOA's mobility. I slammed my hands onto her desk. Where is my son's Wilker? She barely looked up. Ask her. Don't play with me, Meredith. You took my son's Wilker receiver. She sighed, as if I were inconveniencing her. It was an obstruction. A safety hazard. My jaw dropped. A safety hazard. He needs a to move. She shrugged. He can use the park benches if he needs to rest. My hands shook with rage. You stole a disabled child's Wilker, and you think that's okay? I didn't steal it, she said coolly. I had it relocated. If you'd like it back, you're welcome to attend the next HOA meeting and fill an appeal. An appeal. I leaned in close, voice low and dangerous. You're going to return my son's Wilker right now, or I swear. Are you threatening me, Ms. Carter? She interrupted, feeling shocked. I'd be very careful about how you conduct yourself in this community. I stared at her, realizing something chilling. She wasn't just cruel. She was testing me, pushing boundaries to see how much she could get through with. And I refused to let her win. I took a deep breath, straightened my back, and walked out. But I wasn't giving up. I went to the chief's other office and filed a formal discrimination complaint. 10. I went door to door, speaking to neighbors, particularly the ones Meredith had targeted before. And I wasn't the only one she had heard. She fined me $500 because my Wilker met was the wrong color, a Latina matter confessed. She called the cops on my teenage son just for sitting at the neighborhood pool, said a black father, shaking his head. She told my husband we should consider a different community when she found out he was in a Wilker, whispered an elderly white woman. Meredith had built her power by isolating people, making them believe they were alone in their struggles. But we weren't alone. And we weren't backing down. 10. Things got out of control. One evening, Elijah and I were coming home from the grocery store when we saw a bright orange sticker on our front door. Final notice, revelation eviction proceedings in fate. I stumbled back, heart pounding. She was trying to kick us out. Elijah looked up at me, eyes wide with fear. Mom, what's happening? I clenched my fists. This isn't just about rules. This isn't about the Wilker. This was about pushing us out because we didn't belong. And that's when I knew. Meredith had just made the biggest mistake of her life. The HOA meeting was packed. Normally, these meetings were $1 firmly reties bickering over shop heights, but tonight, IT was standing room only. Ord had spread. Meredith Hawthorne had finally gone too far. I stood near the front, my hands resting protectively on Eliach's wheelchair. He sat beside me, with his small hands gripping the armrests, with his eyes scanning the room nervously. I squeezed his shoulder, silently promising him, "You've got this." At precisely 7 часов вечера, Meredith sauntered in, her clipboard clutched like a royal decree. She took her seat at the head of the HOA board, adjusting her crisp beige blazer, and flashed the crowd a smug, satisfied smile. She thought she'd already won. The meeting began with routine business budget approvals, minor complaints. 10. She cleared her throat. Next item on the agenda. Repeated violations by resident Ms. Carter, failure to comply with HOA policies, and pending eviction proceedings. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Meredith turned to me with a practiced look of sympathy. Ms. Carter, would you like to address the board before we finalize this matter? I stood, keeping my voice calm. Yes, actually, I would. I pulled out my folder of evidence and laid it on the table. Let's talk about these child violations. Meredith's smile didn't falter. By all means. I flipped open the folder. Violation 1, my son's wheelchair ramp. The Americans with Disabilities Act clearly states that reasonable accommodations must be made for disabled individuals. The HOA has zero authority to remove or fine me for it. I slid a printed copy of the other law across the table. The board members glanced at it uncomfortably. Meredith barely blinked. Oh, that's just one matter. You're not done. I flipped to the next section. Violation 2, theft of my son's wheelchair. I turned to the crowd. That's right, Meredith didn't just hear says. She took my son's wheelchair and left him stranded. Gasps. Shocked whispers. Someone muttered, "That's disgusting." I continued, my voice sharp. I filed a complaint with the other office, and they confirmed Meredith violated federal law. Meredith's smug facade cricket just slightly. I asked Donnie. I reached into my back and pulled out a USB drive. And Tim, curious. She stiffened. At that, I plugged the drive into a laptop and played the footage on the HOA's projector screen. The security camera footage showed Meredith at our house, ripping the wheelchair out from beside our front door. The room erupted. "Are you kidding me?" someone shouted. "She's been targeting Terem this whole time," another neighbor called out. Meredith's face drained of color. I folded my arms. "I have evidence of everything. The bogus fines. The targeted harassment. The emails you sent about removing undesirable elements from the neighborhood." More murmurs. Neighbors turned to each other, whispering in shock. Meredith shot to her feet. "This is being taken completely out of context." I raised an eyebrow. So, you didn't personally file an eviction notice against me 2 days ago? I spoke to the city housing office. I pulled out another document. Turns out, HOA boards can't evict residents without anonymous board approval. And guess what? I turned to the board members. "Did any of you approve it?" They shook their heads. Meredith blinched. One board member, an older man, frowned at her. "You told us this was a standard enforcement matter. You never mentioned you were trying to force a disabled child out of his home." Silence. Meredith's arrogance cricket into panic. "This is just a minute. I was following protocol." I stepped closer, lowering my voice so only she could hear. "No, Meredith. You were trying to erase us from this neighborhood. And you thought you'd get through with it." I turned to the board. "We already contacted a civil rights attorney. If this isn't addressed immediately, I'll be filing a formal lawsuit against the HOA and against Meredith personally." The board members murmured nervously. One woman turned to Meredith, her face tight. This is serious." Meredith sputtered, her hands trembling. "You can do this. This is my carbonity. I make the rules." I smiled. "Not anymore." And just like that, her empire began to crumble. For the first time since this nightmare started, Meredith Hawthorne looked afraid. She had spent years lording over this neighborhood, making herself untouchable, wielding the HOA like a weapon. But now, the mask hit cricket. Emma Carter is twisting the facts, she stammered, her voice higher than before, her hands gripping the edges of the table like she could physically hold on to her power. This is nothing more than a personal vendetta. She is just upset because she can't follow the rules. I crossed my arms. The rules? The ones that mysteriously don't apply to anyone else. Because I have evidence that you never find other residents for similar sexuality violations. I pulled out another document, a list of HOA complaints and fines from the past 5 years. Notice something interesting? I asked, flipping through the pages. Every single fine, warning, and violation you face with has targeted families of color, disabled residents, or people you personally dislike. The room erupted in whispers. Meredith says darted wildly around the boardroom. That's not true. The HOA enforces community standards for everyone. I slammed the document on the table. 10 WHOA cities that my white neighbors have rampage, but only mine got a fine. WHOA cities that their kids make noise, but mine got a disturbance complaint. WHOA cities that you sent an email. I pulled out printed copies of her HOA emails and waved them in the air, saying our neighborhood should maintain its traditional values. Care to explain what you mean by that? Meredith froze. Because she knew. We all knew. The crowd isn't on her side anymore. I never said that. You wrote it, I shot back. And I have the records. A deep voice came from the back of the room. I can confirm that. Every head turned. Standing at the entrance of the HOA office was Detective James Holloway, broad-shouldered black man in a suit, flanked by 2 uniformed officers. He stepped forward, holding up a thick folder. You've been conducting an investigation, he said, with his voice carrying over the murmurs. Thanks to Emma Carter's complaint and the numerous others you've received, we've found ample evidence of discriminatory housing practices, harassment, and fraud. Meredith's face went husky. No, she whispered, shaking her head violently. You don't understand society. I built this neighborhood. I was only doing what's best for everyone. Detective Holloway's expression didn't change. Ma'am, under federal law, discrimination against disabled individuals, especially involving housing rights, is a criminal offense. And we have reason to believe you deliberately misused HOA funds to enforce illegal policies. Dead silence. 10, a man's voice rang out. She used HOA money to renovate her backyard. He'd snapped toward the speaker a middle-aged white man, HOA treasurer David McAllister. He stood, clearing each his throat. I knew something was wrong when I saw our maintenance fund disappear last year. She told me it was for community improvements, but I checked the records. He turned to the crowd. She spent $38,000 of HOA money not on rats, not on the pool, not on landscaping, but on a private gazebo and an outdoor kitchen for her house. Guests. Shocked outrage. Meredith's hands shook. You don't understand. I understand perfectly, he interrupted coldly. You've been abusing your position for years. People started shouting. She used us. She said, I paid Heinz while she remodeled her damn house. Meredith backed away from the table, her carefully curated word collapsing around her. I saw all of you for the hammer turn, she squeaked. Detective Holloway shook his head. You can't take that up with your lawyer. Because as of now, you're under arrest. The color drained from her face. What? You can do this to me. In the heat of the day. You're, I corrected, arms crossed. And now, you're just another criminal. The officers moved in. Meredith flailed, squeaking like a wounded animal. You can do this. You can't. Click. Handcuffs snapped round her wrists. The room exploded in cheers. Neighbors, people who had once stayed silent, clapped, whistled, even laughed. Detective Holloway turned to me. Emma Carter, would you like to formally press charges? I glanced down at Elijah, who was watching everything with white eyes. I knelt beside him. What do you think, baby? He tilted his head, 10 did seriously. Yeah. She deserves it. I smiled. 10 yes. It like to press charges. As the officers howled Meredith Roy, she shrieked one final time. You people ruined everything. This was my neighborhood. You don't belong here. The crowd put her off the stage. And as the door swung shut behind her, I exhaled deeply, turning to Elijah. You okay, sister? He grinned. Yeah, he said. She's gone in. And just like that, the reign of HOA Karen was over. The next morning, the neighborhood was buzzing. News of Meredith's arrest had spread like wildfire. Her mugshot was already circulating in local Facebook groups, splashed across headlines like HOA president arrested for fraud, discrimination, and embezzlement. By noon, the HOA board had called an emergency meeting with Meredith, of course. David McAllister, the treasurer, stood up and made it official. She's permanently removed from the HOA. He announced. And you're launching a full audit of all finances. A cheer rippled through the crowd. More neighbors came forward stories of Meredith's intimidation tactics, bogus fines, threats of foreclosure. For years, they had stayed silent. But now, they weren't afraid anymore. As Carter, Dave continued, clearing his throat. On behalf of the board, I want to sincerely apologize for everything you and Elijah have been through. The HOA will be refunding every dollar you were wrongfully fined. And you are up. 80 stays. Are not round of RP laws. But I asked Donnie. I stood. A refund is nice, but let's be clear, this never should have happened. Meredith got through with this 4 years because too many people looked away. If you saw what she was doing and stayed silent, you were part of the problem. A few people shifted uncomfortably. An older woman in the front row, Ernest Thompson, one of Meredith's old allies, stood up, voice trembling. You're right, she admitted. I never liked how she treated you. I told myself it isn't my business. That I told do anything. Her face crumpled. I should have spoken up. It isn't everything. But it was a start. I exhaled, nodding. 10 let's make sure no one like Meredith ever gets power again. This time, their laws was deafening. Meredith's foul. A week later, the lawsuit started rolling in. Families she had targeted were suing for damages. The state was investigating her for misuse of HOA funds. She faced felony charges for other violations. And the best part, her own house, the same one she had used stolen HOA funds to renovate, was being foreclosed to pay for her legal fees. One by one, the same neighbors she had terrorized watched as her unsupervised life collapsed. On moving day, she tried to live quietly, stuffing her belongings into a U-Haul. But she couldn't avoid the watchful eyes of the community. No one offered to help. No one said goodbye. She had made herself the queen of this neighborhood. And now, she was gone, reclaiming our peace. A month later, I sat on our newly repainted porch, watching Elijah race across the yard in his wheelchair. For the first time in years, I felt something I hadn't allowed myself to feel here. Peace. Our new HOA president, a young Latina woman named Rosa, walked up the driveway with a smile. We just finalized the new HOA charter, she said. No more ridiculous rules. And no more discrimination. I smiled back. Good. It's about time. Elijah wheeled over, grinning. Mom, guess what? What? Here making a playground in the neighborhood park. And it's gonna have a wheelchair swing. I broke out. After everything we had been through this was what justice looked like. I knelt beside him, wrapping my arms around him. We did it, baby, I whispered. And for the first time in a long time, this neighborhood finally felt like home.